Hey there, decorative concrete contractors. Do you want to figure out exactly what you should be spending on advertising to generate the right type of leads for your concrete coatings and decorative concrete business without actually guessing, taking a gamble, or actually relying on a marketing agency to tell you how much you should be spending? Stay tuned for this show. Welcome to Your Concrete Success Podcast, a show created to inspire decorative concrete contractors to build a thriving decorative concrete business. I'm your host, Danny Barrera, the founder of Concrete Marketing Crew, a digital agency specialized for concrete contractors, and also the author of the Digital Concrete Contractor Marketing Plan, how to turn your online marketing efforts into a lead generation machine. On each episode, I'll be sharing proven tips, strategies, and processes from leading experts in the industry on how they found success in their concrete business. All righty, welcome back. Welcome back. This is Danny, your host, Your Concrete Success Podcast. It's been a while. It's been a minute. I actually have someone reach out to me, and one of our team members as well told me, hey, his name is Becky. He said, when is the next podcast episode going to be dropped? I said, okay, I think it's time. The world is waiting. So anyhow, thank you for tuning in. If you're watching this on YouTube, you get to watch me actually walk you through some spreadsheets that we have here in-house that we leverage and use to help our clients get better results, calculate how much they should be spending in advertising. And if you're listening to this via podcast, Apple, iTunes, etc., number one, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, that you hit that like button. And if you found anything valuable here, share your feedback with us. We would really appreciate it. So let's get right to it. You're a decorative concrete contractor. You do concrete coatings, you do resurfacing, whatever you do. At the end of the day, you want to build certainty in your business. And there is no better time than in this economic times of uncertainty and turmoil for you to actually get really serious about what you're going to do about. Because here's the reality. Can't do anything about what's happening at the political level. You know, you're not actually running the White House. You can complain about it on social media. You can start chatting with your friends on Facebook and, share all the emojis and all the posts and all that stuff, which I don't know if it moves the needle. Or you can get in the driver's seat of your business and the control of your business and the future of your business by understanding basic economics. This is the stuff that actually moves the needle. This is how Concrete Marketing Crew has gotten to where it's gotten to. It's by figuring out numbers, not just for ourselves as an agency, but for our clients. So this conversation applies to you if you do flat work, decorative concrete, any type of decorative concrete, concrete coatings, epoxy flooring, metallic epoxy, you're doing resurfacing, overlay, stamp concrete. So it's an exciting conversation. If you're just getting started in business, this might give you a good idea why is it that you've been in the struggle hamster wheel, okay, going on and on and on without gaining certainty for your business. Because here's the thing is at some point in time, you decide to break out on your own. And this is where I take out my handy dandy white pot and you get started here. The start point is right here. You get started all excited. All of a sudden you might land 1-2 jobs. And then all of a sudden the pipeline dries up and you realize, holy cow, it's time for me to actually do something to market my business, right? And that's when you go out there and start talking to Home Advisor. And then you get into this cycle, which is a vicious cycle of getting some results. Someone takes your money. Maybe you spend some money into a website. Someone rips you off or whatever it is. And therefore you start all over again. Maybe at some point in time you break even and you realize, well, maybe that's the name of the game. Maybe the whole thing is about referrals. But I would beg to differ, especially because we manage millions of dollars in advertising for our clients throughout all these years. So how do we break free from this and build certainty, economic certainty for your business as a decorative concrete contractor? And that's by understanding numbers. But more specifically, in the lead generation aspect, leads are the lifeblood of your business. Sometimes people say sales, but here's the thing. Before you get to sales, before you get to estimates, before you get to any of those numbers, you need to get some people in front of you. You need to get in front of some people. So how do you do that? It's the lead generation. So let's talk about lead generation. If your lead generation is flat, your sales are going to be flat. If you're solely relying on GCs to send you work, you're going to have uncertainty. Some months are going to be great. Some months are going to be like a roller coaster. And if you want to break free from that, want to actually build a business that's profitable, that's constantly growing, then you got to get a grip on this. So let's dive right into it, into some of the areas that that are very important for you to look at. So number one is your lead sources. And your lead sources, you might want to write this down. If you're driving this, don't write this down while you're driving. But if you are listening and watching this right now and you got a paper, take this out. Just take a note of all the lead sources. So type in lead sources that I have leads from. And if you do decorative concrete, like Facebook might be one of them. You might have Facebook. And then when you're talking about Facebook, okay, is it organic Facebook? Am I actually putting advertising dollars, or am I just relying in constantly sharing and, uploading all the pictures of all our projects and all that stuff, right? What is it going to be for you guys? Is it going to be organic, or is it going to be paid? Now, here's the thing. As a marketing agency, I'm actually going to tell you that organic is great, but don't hand it off to a marketing agency. Organic works best when you, as a company owner, or you have your manager, one of your crew leaders, or your sales manager, your estimator going out into a job site, whoever you use, a client success manager, whoever you have in place, your assistant, to actually take pictures and post them on social media, versus hiring a marketing agency to do that for you. Like putting a logo and branding your images can only work to a certain extent to build certainty for your business. I'm talking about like building revenue and actually taking control of that, because this is going to get tight for a minute. So how do we fix that? Is the organic. One of the questions you have to ask yourself is, can I scale organic? Is it scalable? Is it reliable? And is it consistent? In other words, can I control it? And if the answer is no, then we have to, if you want to get into the certainty of your business and financial consistency, then you have to get into the certainty wheel, which is, what can I actually control? Now, here's where it gets tricky. Some of you guys might be boosting posts via messenger ads. And I'm not here to tell you that doesn't work. Like, that may very well work for a minute. And all of a sudden it starts working. It works great for one post, and then it dies out. You try to do it again, might not work. And then you're kind of gambling and you're uncertain about it. And that's where the marketing plan and the strategy comes into play. Now, the whole thing about this conversation is how to calculate the cost, but I'm just giving you examples so that you understand the mindset of what produces results, versus having a paid advertising ad campaign leads into cost per lead. I can calculate the cost per lead. That's going to be like my first KPI. How much is it going to cost me to generate a lead? What's my conversion rate from lead to estimate? And what is my conversion from booked estimate to booked job? In other words, some of you guys may be saying, well, if say, I'm just going to take coatings for example right now. You might be turning on a cost per lead right here, right? So there's going to be a specific dollar. Okay. And I'm able to turn 30% of the leads into an actual estimate. So you might have 30% up here, 30%. And out of those 30%, I'm able to close a good 50%. Say that you're on okay. you're an okay closer. Some people say and take pride about, well, I'm able to close 100% of the deals. Well, perhaps I don't think you're selling you're not probably not giving estimates multiple times a day. If you're closing 100% of the time, it's probably referrals, it's probably GCs and giving you a pass, and that's how you're closing deals. But here's the deal. These are the numbers that you need to write down. Okay, so you got to do that same thing here. Write down any lead sources. Is your website producing leads for you? From organic. Can you actually go to Google Analytics and see how many leads your website has generated for you from organic search? And can you tell what keywords are bringing you the leads for your business? Another one, if you're not using organic, again, website, you're going to recurring to organic, is the pay-per-click. Pay-per-click by far is the most expensive channel out there. However, when we're looking at social media ad campaigns, for example, we can book 30% of the leads into booked estimates. On Google, we could probably get up to 70%, 80%. 8 out of 10 people that we talk to on Google turn into booked estimates. 7 out of 10 people turn into a booked estimate after they're qualified. So very important for you to know at the sources right now, as economic times are are compressing, like what are you going to be doing about taking control of your financial destiny? That's what we're talking about here today. And I'm giving you some ideas into how to start calculating. So some of these things are going to be based out of where you are at right now, but more importantly, where do you want to be at? Which means that you need to either know how to run these campaigns yourself, the advertising campaigns, or hire someone that's competent to do so. So are you generating leads from Facebook? Are you generating leads from your website? You're generating leads from TikTok. Same deal. Like, I'm not talking about organic TikTok where you're dancing and putting funny videos. No, I'm actually talking about advertising campaigns. You're putting money to work for you, and you know exactly how much is it going to cost for you to generate a lead. Because then we can calculate everything in the business. You can do the same thing for YouTube. That's the beauty about this whole deal. You can calculate that for YouTube and Pinterest. You can calculate this for pretty much anything in your business. So let me share a worksheet, a workbook that we take our clients through. And if you're interested in getting more information, you want a copy, just reach out to concretemarketingcrew.com and find a link in there. Send us a message. There's a chat button in there. Say that you listen to this specific episode. But if you're interested in getting some help with this, feel free to book a strategy call to see if this makes sense for your business. So here is what this looks like. And this is what we call the lead generation target planner. And say that you're just getting started right now, or maybe you've been at this for a minute and you're a solo installer, and you got one guy helping you out, and you're under 300,000 in revenue. You want to take it to 500,000 a year, and that is your revenue, right? That means that if that is your monthly, that is your yearly target, that your monthly revenue target should be around 41,600K, etc. Now, what about if we want to turn this into like $1 million? And that means that every single month we should be producing an average of $83,000. And then we can calculate what is our bare ass minimum, what is our BAM number to be able to operate from. What if we are going from $1 million to $2 million? That means that every month I need to be able to, right? So this is basic business foundational elements. Now, similarly here, I know that if my average price point, my average ticket value is $3,500. That means that I'm going to need 48 projects. I'm going to need, if you're doing flow coatings, that means that you're going to need 48 projects paying you $3,500 in order to hit 166. Now, you can start calculating, your mind can start just spinning, trying to think how many crews you're going to need, how many individuals you're going to need. But the point is, this is all mathematics. Nothing crazy about this. So you can hit $1 million by just doing 24 installs a month, if you know exactly how to pull this off. Now, this is where the numbers become extremely important. Like, this is where the numbers make all the difference. This is where you got to calculate, okay, what is your average conversion rate from booked estimate to booked job? Booked estimate to booked job. What is my closing? So are you at 50%? That means that the amount of demos, the amount of prospects, of estimates I need is going to be, and then here's the magic number, 48. So in order for me to hit $1 million clean a year, minus whatever you pay Uncle Sam, you're gonna be pulling off about 83K plus, give or take a month. Average project size is $3,500. Look, if your average project size is more, you actually need less jobs to make more. When you grow your reputation, that's possible. Okay, so if you are closing 50%, that means that you only need to talk to 48 people. Now, what about if your closing ratio is 60% or 55%? Boom. Now you only need 43 booked appointments. What if you only need, what if you're closing 60%, you only need 40 people? So that leads me into, so the closing ratio, I want to make a big point right here. Your closing ratio and the amount of money that you need to put into advertising go hand in hand, which takes me into the conversation that a lot of times it's not the advertising not doing its job, but it's the sales process that is not tight, it's not fine-tuned. Good thing is, when you become a Concrete Marketing Crew client, you get help with that. We help you out with proven processes for selling effectively under any environment and condition, especially if you're selling decorative concrete. You're not selling fixing broken pipes or fixing a broken AC repair unit. You're actually out there selling oftentimes what can be seen as luxury, and you have to build the value for people to actually desire to make the investment right now and let go of that money and say, hey, this is more important than the $3,500 that I have sitting in my bank account. So there you go. So you're closing, the amount of closes that you're doing, however many prospects that you're turning into estimates and estimates into book job, like that closing number, that conversion number is a number that you should keep track of. And if you don't know what that is, just start tracking it. Have somewhere, Google Sheet. Again, so your homework number one is make a list of all the lead sources that you have and start calculating, okay, how much is it really costing me right now? Because here's the thing, is every lead source is going to have different numbers, different conversions, and then you can scale, you can focus in what's working. And once you completely tap out of a specific channel and you're ranking number one on Google for every possible term, now it's time to look at a different channel. Now it's time to do this or to do that. Or maybe you haven't tried Facebook ads and it's time to dial that in. And yes, it's going to take more leads, but guess what? Cheaper leads, and with a proven process to turn those suspects into prospects and prospects into booked jobs, it's a big deal. So your conversions are going to matter. This is why sales is important, because the better that your team closes, the less you have to spend into advertising. So if you're doing 65% right here, that means that you got to spend only $3,600 to be able to book 37 estimates. Now, check this out. The next conversation here, this is where these things get dialed in. This is where they get stuck, is average cost to book an estimate. So one of the numbers that we talked about earlier on in this specific conversation was this following number. Let me see where I put it. Let me see right here. This number right here. You have your cost per lead, right? Cost per lead. And then how many leads does it take you to book an estimate? And from a real prospect, how many leads do you need from Facebook ads? How many leads do you need from Google ads? Like I said, from Facebook, it's going to be entirely different. From TikTok, it's going to be just as good as Facebook. From Pinterest, it's going to be entirely different. From YouTube, it's going to be entirely different. What matters is the amount of leads that you need so that you can calculate strategically how much you should be spending into your advertising. But again, how much is it cost per lead? How many leads do I need in order to turn them into a booked estimate? Is it 30%? Okay, great. So just do the math. Just do the math, what that is. And then you calculate. So that is going to help you in determine the average cost per booked estimate. And if you have any questions or you need help or you want to walk through, you want the Concrete Marketing Crew to come and help you out, just feel free to reach out. We'll walk you through this exact same process and exercise. You get to see it for yourself. And maybe you either do two things, two of the following. You get real with your targets and your goals from your marketing perspective. Numbers don't lie. That's the beauty about this thing. Or number two is you increase the amount of commitment that you have towards yourself. And this doesn't matter who is managing your advertising. This is for you to understand that at the end of the day, your beautiful work of decorative concrete, coatings, epoxy flooring, that's one aspect of the business. But where the business is, where the certainty is, where the revenue is, where everything comes together is in the numbers aspect. And the better that you get at that, the more successful you're going to be in business, and the more likely you are to have the lifestyle that you dream of. So my friends, this wraps up the conversation about how to calculate your cost per customer acquisition, how to calculate how much you should be spending in advertising to generate an estimate, to generate a book job. Those numbers, you shouldn't be guessing, or you shouldn't be letting an advertising agency tell you, hey, try this many. No, you should be 100% clear where you want to go, get real with it. And if you need to grow along with an agency, that's great. That's awesome. That's exactly what we have. So we have an accelerator program. If you have not checked out Concrete Marketing Crew, let me walk you through it right now. ConcreteMarketingCrew.com. You can just Google us. We are all over Google. If you have not checked us out, let me share my screen here. Add to stream. So Concrete Marketing Crew, I want you to, if you're interested in anything that I've talked about today, check out the Accelerator program. This is an incredible program. The access point, the only thing that is limited here is the territories. We don't have every territory in the country available, but if you're a decorative concrete contractor, you do coating, stamp concrete, overlays, resurfacing, epoxy flooring, anything decorative concrete, we can help you generate book jobs. I mean, even vertical concrete. We have a couple of clients that have been coming in there. But anyways, we have an incredible program that helps you and grows with you. And this is the exact same formula that we take you through to find success for your decorative concrete business. But this is Danny Barrera. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And don't forget that you are amazing. You take care. Have a great day. Hey there, Concrete Contractor. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure that you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give us your feedback. Let us know how we did. And also, if you're interested in taking your flat work and decorative concrete business to the next level online, make sure that you visit ConcreteMarketingCrew.com today and learn more about our services. And go ahead and download our free internet marketing checklist for decorative concrete contractors. You'll learn a thing or two about what you can improve for your business online.